Now I'm hungry.
Hi, everyone.
Hello. And today we are going to talk about something that is a common phenomenon
Yeah,
when you're trying to do anything new.
right.
And that's usually that things get worse before they get better.
Exactly. So, if you found that you've been using what we teach to make changes, so let's say you've been, or using anything really to try to change your emotional state or your mental state, and you found that it gets worse. So let's say you've been using ESC, emotional state conditioning, which is one of the things that we teach,
Right.
and you had a good day, wonderful day, and then you wake up and you've got worse. Everything seems to be worse. Either bad things are happening, or you're reacting badly, or you feel like you've gone backwards. All of that, it is the same as when you start any new physical activity. If, for example, if you go to the gym, if you start a new workout routine, if you didn't know that part of the process and the way muscles get stronger is that they hurt the next day,
Oh,
that's what's been wrong.
That's my problem.
But so if you wake up, you go to the gym, you feel good. Oh, I worked out, that was great. Or you go for a run, whatever it is. And then the next morning you wake up and you've got your muscles are hurting. If you didn't know that that's part of the process, you would I'm never exercising again. It's doing hurts because you wouldn't realize it. But because you know that that's part of the process, and you know that it's actually a good sign, it's part of getting stronger and fitter, then you take a day recovery and then you move on, and then you keep moving forward. You go back again. If you didn't, you would never get fit or stronger. So this is the same. And like I think we're saying that you're leaning on my hair, actually.
That's one of those hazards of the hair.
One of the things we were saying this morning as well is when you learn to play the guitar, and I know there are millions of people in the world who learn to play the guitar, some of them quite well. And when I started trying to play the guitar, it hurts. It's really sore on your fingers when you start. Now, if you didn't know that that's what happens, and then you build calluses and then it doesn't hurt anymore, you would just, like me, just stop doing it. You would never learn to play it. But you know that it's part of the process. It hurts for a while and then you build the calluses, and this is the same. So when you're working on yourself, on your emotions and your mental state, and you're making core changes to your brain as you're doing this, and of course to your subconscious, it's part of the process that it'll be a little bit of a roller coaster to begin with, but you're not going to stay there. It will improve. It will get better. Those muscles won't hurt all the time. Your fingers won't hurt all the time. And your emotional state will get more consistently good.
Yeah, I was going to say that I think that for something like exercise or learning how to play an instrument or any other physical activity, I think that we've got experience, or we have an expectation. We've been taught, or we've learned that you can expect, even those old sayings, no pain, no gain, kind of thing. It's like, we know that we've come to learn that. But I think that with the type of work that we're doing, making changes internally, we've never been taught that. There's a belief that I can't change what's going on, with what's in my subconscious mind. So when you start to do this and recognizing that it is a process, it's a conditioning process, just like an external skill that you're learning, I think that that's what feels different or new.
Yes.
We don't have a reference for the fact that I can actually change something in my, and the pain that I'm feeling as a result of making those changes is that feeling like I've gone backwards. Oh no, I feel worse.
It didn't work.
Or, you'll have a good day.
Yeah.
and I know this from what we both know this from
Yes.
personal experience, that
Yeah.
as you're doing this work, as you're conditioning yourself into a higher mental, emotional state,
Mhm.
that you will have those good experiences. You will actually feel a change occurring. You're going to feel that different chemical state in your body.
Mhm.
And then you wake up the next day. But we have this expectation
Yeah.
that, oh, all is good now.
It's magic that's happened already. Yeah.
Ta-da! I've achieved that space.
Mhm.
It's just part of the process.
Yeah.
We're leveling up. You're continuing to move up, but you have to go through that process.
Absolutely. And the trick is to recognize it for
Mhm.
what it is and not buy into it.
Mhm,
In other
mhm,
words,
mhm.
let's say you have anxiety and you use ESC, emotional state conditioning, which is one of the techniques we teach. So let's say
Mhm.
you've been using that and you feel better, you feel good, and you think, I had a really good day. And so you're expecting to wake up tomorrow feeling, if not anything, better, if not anything. And if not the same, I mean, you know what I mean?
Really?
And let's say you wake up the next morning and you feel worse. You feel this overwhelming anxiety. And
Mhm.
now the natural inclination is to think it didn't work. I've
Mhm.
done it wrong. This has made it worse. It'll
I'm the
never
one person.
change.
I'm the one person that this
It
doesn't work
yeah.
for.
And I'm back to where I was. That's natural. That's a natural thing because that's what it feels like. What you have to do is in the moment override that. Remind yourself, this is the equivalent of waking up the next day after physical exercise, after starting a new routine. And sometimes it's 2 days later that you actually
Mhm.
wake up with stiff muscles. And it's waking up and going, oh, my muscles are so sore. And the difference between, well, I'm not doing that again. The exercise didn't work.
Yeah.
And okay, so this is part of I'm getting stronger. And what you do then is the same as you would do with physical exercise. Give it a rest. So take some
Mhm.
time out. Give yourself a recovery day, which means in this case,
Mhm.
do what feels good. Don't do anything you don't want to do that you don't have to do. Obviously, if you have to go to work, you have to go to work, that kind of thing. But take it as easy as possible. Get extra sleep, get extra good nutrition and water, and give yourself a break. Watch
Mhm. Mhm.
comedy,
Mhm.
listen to music, do what you love doing. Go for a walk, do some physical activity, whatever it is that feels good to you. Have a bubble bath. Look after yourself. Be kind to yourself. The more you do that, it's the equivalent of a rest and recovery day
Mhm.
when you're building your physical muscles. Then go back to it after that, just as you wouldn't just stop doing the exercise.
Mhm.
If you wanted to get fit, you would take a recovery day and then you do it again the following day and build those muscles even stronger. This is the same.
I was thinking that when you experience that physical pain around exercise, we tell ourselves, that's just the growth process.
Yes.
This is growth happening. So we tell ourselves, okay, this is good. We reframe the pain into, oh, this is actually growth.
Mhm.
If you can do the same kind of thing when you're engaged in this process,
Yes.
and see that those setbacks, those seeming setbacks, that negative feeling that comes back after a good day, is really just a growth that's happening. It's a leveling up
Exactly.
that's happening. And you can always remind yourself in the moment that there's nothing else going on except neurons connecting in neural pathways in your brain,
Mhm.
and chemical reactions being formed in your body.
Yeah.
That's all that it is. It feels like something
Yeah.
ominous is happening to us, with the anxiety or depression or whatever those states are, whatever the feeling is. But there really isn't anything happening except neurons and the chemicals in your brain, the neural pathways firing and chemicals in your brain.
Yeah.
So, and it's the same kind of thing. We tell ourselves, it's like, oh, that pain after physical exercise, well, that's just growth happening. That's just my muscles getting stronger. And it's essentially the same thing.
Absolutely. Spot on. Very good. Was that all we were going to say? I think it might be a short one this week.
Yeah, I think to kind of summarize it or to wrap up, is to just tell yourself or to remind yourself that setbacks are going to happen, and not to be surprised
Yes.
when you have a bad day.
Just like you wouldn't be surprised if you woke up with stiff muscles after a workout at the gym.
So as long as you are in fact engaged in trying to make a change.
Yeah.
So in other words, if you weren't going to the gym and you all of a sudden had aching muscles, sore muscles, there might be something else wrong there.
Yeah.
But if you're actually engaged in doing the work, if you're engaged in trying to change those childhood memories, if you're engaged in using ESC to try to change your emotional state to a higher emotional state, and you're experiencing those fluctuations or a setback, or it feels a little bit worse,
yes,
just know that it's part of the process, and that you can use the other techniques that we've got in videos that you can take a look at to pull yourself out of that feeling, but just know that it's going to happen.
Yes. And the less you buy into the drama of it, the quicker you'll recover as well. So in other words, when you do feel a setback, the more you're able to go, it's okay, it's just part of the process. I'm going to take it as easy today as possible. I'm going to be good to myself, and I will get back to it tomorrow. The more you're able to do that, the quicker you'll progress as well, because the less floundering you'll do.
Absolutely.
All right.
So I think that'll do it for us today.
That's it. If you want to find out more, go to our website.
Exactly.
Which will pop up on the screen when this has been edited. But it's subconscious-reprogramming.
Yeah. Check the description and for the links below.
All right. Bye-bye, everybody.
Have a great week.